we all know, due to the recent events, Blacklivesmatter, we all know of a Blackout Tuesday, which happened on Tuesday, where people were posting black squares. So there's this guy, shout outs to you.
A few months ago.
No, it was this week. And last week.
When's it gonna be?
Okay, well, someone's gonna see this, but it's fine. So
anyway,
shout outs to you for this guy. I discovered through you on your page. So guys, it's important to follow people you like, because they always have a way of introducing you to stuff you might like. I happen to follow Media, Mr underscore Media. Follow the kid. I was on his page and he shared this guy, and this guy is David Sabastian. The name of the album cover, a single, by the way, is called Niggaland. Dope, bro. So a few things I just want to talk about. First and foremost, I enjoy, because when you talk about this thing, I love it when art. Sorry?
Who worked on it?
So the guy who worked on it, sorry, let me just go down for that, because it was two cats. It is Nick M. Dixon, who was the photographer, and then it said it was edited by himself, David Sabastian. So it was a collaboration of both these two guys. The other one is a photographer, I think it's his friend. The other one is a musician, the artist. So now I like it when, for me, this right here is a big moment in time, man. You know, it's like you seeing art depicting what's going on right now. And for me, that is best form of art. You know, when art kind of gives you a journey, a mirror, and it mirrors society. It's quite a quote, I'm gonna share it with you. It's by a famous Australian art critic. I don't know if you've watched a documentary called the Mona Lisa Curse. You must check it out.
The curse.
The Mona Lisa Curse. Wait.
Oh, that's fine. You know that's fine.
Got this Australian famous critic on it who's more like the curator of it. He goes by the name Robert Hughes. God bless his soul, he's passed away. Quite quote Lapayana, he says in the documentary, and I'm gonna read it for you. He says, so much of today's art mirrors and criticizes decencies. Not so much decencies. And here comes my favorite part. He says this: it serves no critical function, it's part of the problem. He says if art doesn't serve a critical function, it's part of the problem.
Oh, all right.
And then he goes on, and then at the end of the documentary, he leaves us with these words: if art can't tell us about the world we live in, then I don't believe there's much point to having it. You know, and
all right.
And for me, dog, each time I will bringing these type of covers here, I base them on this insight. You know, the last time you came for my head when I dropped 40 bars, but at the time, that's where people were. You know, there was a lack of motivation. There was a lack of stuff that made us produce that type of art.
That's your evolution, and you're now bringing your 40 bars.
But hey, let's get to, but also what I liked about this guy, there's a lot of similarities with him, with Joyner Lucas. He's an activist, he's very artistic, he gets his craft, he gets his movement, he gets what he's saying. So now let's get straight into it, bro. Yeah, concept. The title of the album is Niggaland. Dude is chilling outside the White House.
There we go.
You know,
exactly.
Dude is chilling outside the White House. By the way, it's a high 8.
All right.
It's a high 8. Dude is chilling outside the lawn of the White House. Also, what you see, he's got, if you know the White House, it's the it's America, so-called America, so-called land of the free, so-called land of the free. You know, bro. And then on top of that, he's got a few subtle, similes to it. He's wearing the KKK, mask.
Yeah.
He's got a basketball.
Yeah.
Got champagne, and then he's chilling there by the lawn. Hey, so I don't want to go into those specific individual things, but I'm gonna talk to them on execution.
Yeah.
Concept is an 8. I to follow team.
Listen, bro, I'm good, man. Look, David and Nick Derkins and whoever else was involved in this, shout out to them. I think I'm feeling I'm not even feeling very generous today, but you know, I think it is what it is, man. And for me, the big idea, this is brave, this takes balls, and David's been holding it down for 60 chubby niggas as well. So I always, shout out there. But in terms of as a concept, what he did here today, I gave it a 10. I don't need to say anything else as to why, as to, you know, this is just like conceptually, you know, I think we have seen, like, I remember Kendrick did the To Pimp Again, where he was in front of the White House. But I think you know what I'm saying. I think he came, you know, this is just not filtered. This is like the message, and you get it when you see that image. It's that I don't need to explain anything.
Sharp.
Like,
all right.
So, then conceptually, this is, you know, and it matches the statement that you brought. You know, when you are like the criticalness and all, you know, and all the stuff of the arts. So for me, conceptually, yeah, again, fight me on that. You know, I think that's what's up. You know, we've barely on our cover, we've got our fists up faster, but I think conceptually, I'm riding with this.
Aesthetics, visuals. This for me was the lowest mark I gave it, which was 7. Yeah. There's a lot going on in the cover. There's a lot of moments in the cover which we might at first glance miss. I'm gonna address those with execution, the moments I'm talking about. There's a lot of symbolism on the cover as well, which at face value you might also not see. I like the fact that he's got a tattoo of a cross on his chest. You know, I like the stuff that's going on in the foreground of the cover. You know, like, sorry?
What number you gave it?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I gave it a 7. So I was saying, I just like what's happening in the foreground. Like, for me, basically, this guy is taking a dump on the lawn of the White House.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So as aesthetic and the black and white situation of it, not everything is as black and white as you might think it is, as a visual aesthetics, you know. So yeah, man, I'm there.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you with that. The visual was probably the most lacking. Just in terms of as an aesthetic piece, was where there were kind of little, I guess, kind of little maybe inconsistencies and such things for me. Like I feel like almost like there are little things that, as ridiculous as it sounds, but maybe, you know, you could have brought the White House a little bit closer for me. Just, you know, just like as an image, so that all right, cool. So yeah, as I'm saying, so as a visual, for me, I'd match you on the 7 that you gave it. Simply because it's almost like I feel they could have just kind of, I mean, they've already gone all the way there. They've already said what they wanted to say, but they're small kind of elements which I would have liked to see lifted even more. So the KKK thing, you get it, but I would have liked to just seemed like a touch more balanced. But I'm a bit what can I call, obsessive about like balance at times and certain things. So that could be it for me. But and also, is this a visual thing? Is this an execution thing? We don't need the parental advisory here, bro. It's done. We don't need it. Why do you need it then?
I get you.
This is like, in fact, for me, when you say parental advisory on this image, you're kind of saying it's for this is image for everyone, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is a consumption for over 18. I think 6 kids are being shot at, younger ages. So I didn't like the parental advisory as well. I just think there it is. It's there. You've said it. So yeah.
Okay, man. Execution. Oh, yeah, I gave it high, bro. I rated it a 9 here. I gave it a 9. There's some dope subtleties, and also, if you were to record this video, this is the part where I'll say press record, because now we're getting into the juicy stuff. Bro, he's got a balaclava there, which is not an incident. The balaclava, the KK balaclava, is during a time of emotion. It speaks of slavery. It speaks about everything Black people were not supposed to be during that time. That image already on its own, when you see a balaclava, it's some way brings trauma to Black people.
Yeah.
It's very traumatic. And so when a Black person wears it, it's also speaks to what those people did to us. It's like when we now call ourselves niggas, we don't call it because of what it means to white people. We call ourselves that because we now own this word, So that's one thing. And then I go to the champagne. So understand me that all those three things here, the balaclava, the basketball, the champagne, represents different moments in Black people's life in America.
Sure.
The basketball players in America, black people are the most paid in basketball.
Yeah.
As a sports.
Yeah.
You get that? So him having it there, he's talking about the glory. Like there's something I wrote down. The NBA is dominated by Black Americans as a sports. Like I can give you 5 names on the top of my head. Black, famous, successful athletes.
Yeah.
Who have made the sports they own.
Yeah.
So that cover speaks to the glory days of the Black community. And then you go to the champagne. The champagne is a drink for special occasion. It's for celebration. Yeah. So when you go to that, he's also talking. Sorry?
That's an ace of spades. I think that's Jay-Z's champagne. That's super expensive. I think. Anyway.
Okay, yeah. So champagne is a drink we usually drink on special occasions. You don't just pop bottles in champagne, bro. You must have done something great. As a kid, you bought your first car. It's a symbol of success. So it has all those things packaged as an execution-wise on this art piece.
Yeah.
Media dog.
Yeah, and also to capture the luxuriousness of everything is, I think, it just that juxtaposition of, it's the White House and there's the nigga sitting there. And look, there's something I also love about the fact that he's not wearing shoes. Something that's going on there as well.
So for me, this cover is special. Like for me, this cover is special. It speaks to the different cycles of humanity. It also speaks a lot to us Black people, where we are in lives. We came from slavery. We came from using slavery as now these great athletes. Because also, when they speak of basketball, they talk about how black people are agile, how black people could fly in basketball. Like, it also just speaks to a whole lot of what through this, we were able to achieve this.
Sure.
But it's a 9 for me, like I said, for execution.
All right. That's heavy, bro. That's a heavy number. It's a 9. Yeah. I think as well. I think in terms of what's it called? On living up to the idea of Niggaland.
Niggaland.
I think that's I think you've touched on like so many kind of points. I think it came across well. It came across well. It's not a 9 from me. I'll give it a 7 from execution, because again, and again, for me, I lose the point from I don't like that parental advisory.
Hey,
Nah, man, I just like I didn't feel like it needs to be there, and it seems like it's on the thing. But I'll give it a 7 for an execution. But it's just like that's where I leave it. And the fact I think why are we sleeping on the I know it's obvious, but the black and white of it as well is quite. He could have shot this in color.
He could have
color. But the black and white brings those, it's a black and white discussion. So it's well executed. It's an image that's gonna, it's that time. Like that is the day that these uprisings started. This image, you're gonna put it there. I think that this is gonna be, if it keeps, it's just gonna stand for a moment in time. Let's go. Disruption,
man. Disruption is an 8, bro. It's an 8, and why? There's a big sense here of shock advertising, which is shock and advertising, which means that he's deliberately and intentionally created this to give off a specific mood and a specific attitude towards something. So he's used the shock value, but also he's used that opportunity to bring your attention to something very important. And like I said before, that speaks to the current culture, current norm of what's going on right now.
Sure. Disruption from my side, it will get an 8 as well, but I had initially written it as a 7, but I think I'll stick to an 8 as well, simply because I think my main drawback from this was the fact that I can refer to the Kendrick cover when I think of it, right? That was like my main drawback of the White House, right? So is it like wow in that context? But I also think what makes me happy to stick with the 8 is the fact that it's almost like it's you can see this image is going to live for a lot more than now, and to kind of almost come with something, an idea that has been attempted before, but like just give it another layer. Just really, it's almost like just this is the same thing but for now, and it's his interpretation of it, and and just to also the other thing I want you to realize is I think this definitely happened before one of the uprisings that recently happened. This cover, I think they released it even a little bit like a week
before.
Yes.
Will you keep it?
And when
way before.
I think I think the uprisings we're talking about the George Floyd incident.
Yeah.
This was before that time, and so in terms of that, shows that they were just like ahead. They were speaking to that.
You know what's also beautiful? The music video. If you haven't checked out the music video, you can pause this video and go check out the music video, because he's also shot it in that manner of who George Floyd. Because like he's on the floor, he's got the boots in his head and he's rapping like that. Crazy stuff, bro.
Yeah, it's brave. It's brave work, bro. It's brave work. You know, as an artist, and there's a lot of artists. Artists have got a lot to lose. So you know, for these guys to collab and to to come at a time like like now, and to still stand for this kind of message. I think this is why I've always appreciated David's work as well. It's very hard to be brave in a time like now, G. Very hard to be brave as an artist, and to to just put yourself out there, and to be a person, and to to put yourself out there and create something. So I think it's disruptive simply because I think this image is going to be relevant for a long ass time. I think this image is going to do all the things that we talk about in terms of the interesting things that create a disruptive thing. It's going to be on shirts. It's going to be on, I just think it's going to, the way, the composition, the messaging that it talks about, it's going to stand for a lot more now. I think it's going to stand for a lot more in future than it even does now.
Yeah, man. It is your boy, Touch the 8th Wanda. Peace in the Middle East. See you on the streets, man. That's another episode of Top 10 Dopest Album Covers of 2020. I am your boy, Touch the 8th Wanda, signing out.
Mr MediaX, keep designing, keep your stuff dope, guys. And hit us up. You know where to find us. We're ready. And shout out to the work out there, man. I think by the time we are publishing this, we'll probably have the hottest design channel on the planet.
We outie, man. Shots.